As dedicated allies to the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, we at EduCanNation recognize the vast sovereign, unsurrendered, and treaty territories from the east to the west coast. We acknowledge the First Peoples of Turtle Island to be the original and rightful land owners, land caretakers, and land healers to what we know to be Canada. Through an ever-growing network of partners and supporters, we at EduCanNation sincerely aim to continually work and learn how to be diverse and responsive in supporting the various wellness needs of Indigenous communities. Welcome to ECN Talks, brought to you by EduCanNation, Canada's first and only association of certified cannabis educators. EduCanNation is dedicated to delivering the highest standard of responsible cannabis education, supporting respect for holistic plant medicine. We're patients supporting patients, caregivers, and a growing network of cannabis coaches and educators because we've been there, been through it, and understand that there's more to cannabis than what we've been told. Stigma, myths, and disinformation have clouded more minds than any puff of cannabis smoke. So these conversations are to help clear the air while we celebrate the plant, the people, and the science behind cannabis by sharing stories, insights, and practical guidance to help you navigate the world of holistic plant medicine safely and confidently. Whether you're here to learn, explore, or just satisfy your curiosity, consider this your monthly dose of cannabis literacy without the hype, the smoke, or the stigma. EduCanNation is here to offer straight-up education you can trust.
Hey, JJ, how's it going?
Hey, Shawna. Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. Great to see you.
So we are back again for episode 7 of ECN Talks. And
Yes,
what are we talking about today?
Oh my goodness. We have so much to just update everybody on. So we have no guests to give you today. We are just sharing everything that is going on within the organization. And it is a lot. So we're going to try to cram it all into a short amount of time here and give you all the goods. Before we dive in, just once again, want to say thank you to everybody for liking, subscribing, listening, watching, doing all the things. We really appreciate you being here. And we just hope that you continue to support us and share so that others can do the same. Thanks as well to KGL Network for producing and supporting this podcast. All right, Shawna, what is going on in the world of EduCanNation?
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but one of the most exciting things is starting this week on Friday, March 20th, which is the first day of spring, and we are springing forward with some restructuring of EduCanNation. Our membership has been behind a paywall for quite some time because we need to collect funds in order to pay for keeping us afloat, right? But we're recognizing that people are struggling out there financially. It's getting harder every day. Groceries are getting more expensive. Gas prices are going up. Housing is expensive. All of these things, and people still need to have access to credible education. So we are opening our membership up for free. Yay! So we always wanted to do day one, give people free access. So we no longer have our community membership and our leadership membership. We are combining those, and we have created the ECN community. So that is a free membership for patients, for caregivers, for cannabis educators, for anybody who is curious to learn more about cannabis, who needs support. You'll be able to access our free membership as of this Friday, and we're kicking it off with our Chief Science Officer, Uwe Bleshing, is coming in to talk to us. We are so grateful for his support, and we always learn so much from his sessions. He keeps us up to date on all the latest science and what's going on out there. Can you tell us what Uwe's going to be talking to us about this Friday?
Yeah, for sure. He has a great new resource. So Uwe Bleshing is the founder of Cannabis, and if you have not, go and check it out, cannabis.com. It's an excellent research tool, and he's created some other resources that you can purchase. Their books like available on Amazon or through Cannabis, and he is going to be sharing about his latest one, and it is about the endocannabinoid system. It's about naturally nurturing the endocannabinoid system. So he's given us a little sneak peek at his resource, and then we're going to be talking about it on the 20th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this will probably come out after, but make sure to go check out the recording and stay tuned. Join the organization, the community, because Uwe will be back. And he'll be sharing every month about whatever is latest and greatest, whether it's something that he has created or it's the latest science studies research that is coming out that he's sharing about. So he is an absolute wealth of information and knowledge, and just has an excellent way of delivering it as well. So we really encourage everybody to take advantage of these sessions, because even us as educators, as long as we have been in the space, we always learn something from Dr. Bleshing. So
yeah, that's right. And if when you come and join our membership, if you go to EduCanNation.info, be able to the free membership, and you'll get access to the links in the member resource section. And you'll also, there are, if you go onto our website, you can get a discount for the Cannabis platform, which is an incredible platform. So,
Yep. And just in case you were breaking up a little bit, but we have you, but educanation.info is where you go. And Cannabis code for anybody who needs it right now, CK360_ECN25. All right. Okay. Oh, there's that sound again. It's not my microphone. All right. We're learning things. We are learning too. Yeah, so we're really excited about this restructuring of the organization. We have grown over the last 5 years, but like Shawna was saying, the economy these days has made it very difficult, but everybody is, wanting the community and wanting the education, but just having to continually throw money at it has been really difficult for a lot of people. So we're really excited about opening it up. And, when we do open it up, we have all of the offerings that we have on a regular basis that everybody's going to be able to come to. But we also have the last 5 years of content that we have created that people will have some access to this as well. So, keep that in mind too, that it's not just what the future holds, but what we have built in the past is going to be available to people as well. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's right. We have access to at least 150, if not more, recorded sessions, education sessions. So that is a wonderful resource to have access to. And we are going to have our community circles as well, which is a monthly offering where you can come live and just come to a really casual setting and ask your questions to certified cannabis educators, talk about what's going on in the world of cannabis, and, just get a sense of community amongst people who are learning to be stigma-free and accepting. So, we look forward for you to join us.
Yes. And so when you do join, you will get our newsletter, our ECN digest that comes out every month. And in the newsletter, it's going to have all of the details on everything that's happening every month. It will have our calendar. It will have everything that you need to know, all the links to join events and things like that. So when you're signing up, you're also subscribing to our newsletter, but very important to make sure you're getting that newsletter, because that's going to tell you everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have another event coming up on the 5th of March that we're looking forward to. So we've been working behind the scenes together for over a year now on the hemp side of things. The part of the plant that we don't often talk about that much. And that's actually thanks to Kelly, who hosts us here and produces this show. She brought us together, and we have continued to work on this. And one of the things that I think has bothered me about the cannabis industry from the get-go for so many years is the amount of waste that there is.
Oh my goodness.
Right? It's the prized flowers that we want, but what about the rest of the plant? It's useful. Every single part of that plant, from the root to the leaves, to the flowers, to the stems, to the stalks, it is all useful material that can be transformed into other things, right? We can, as some of you may know, I built my house out of hempcrete. So that's the inner woody core of the cannabis plant. And it insulates my house. It helps my walls breathe and filter my air. It manages moisture, so it's mold proof. It's fireproof. It's bug resistant and rodent resistant as well. It has like many, many amazing qualities. And beyond that, we can make insulation batting. We can make plastics out of hemp. We can make biochar out of hemp. We can, turn that biomass into biochar and then turn it into batteries. We can store energy.
That's crazy. And what is biochar?
So biochar is made by heating the stalks of the cannabis plant or the hemp plant. And it's heating it in a closed space, a closed system where there's not oxygen that's getting in there. Okay. And so it's not combusting, it's just getting heated and turned into like charcoal.
Okay.
Right. And then that biochar can then be applied. It's amazing in agriculture. It actually helps, replenish the soil, and it stays in there for years and years and years and years. So all of the nutrients that it helps the plants absorb are readily available. Wow. And then from that, we can actually replace the graphene in batteries with biochar. And it can store energy. And so this is, here we are in the age of moving out of, the oil industries. And a lot of us are relying on oil, right? Mm-hmm. If we can replace it with a renewable source, like, cannabis grows so quickly. It's not like we're waiting, 50 years for a tree to grow to chop down to turn it into charcoal to burn it, but we can, it's just a few months.
Yeah.
So that biomass can be turned into biochar and turned into batteries. And if anybody is interested in that, hit us up, because you can actually invest in this right now. There are projects going on out there that some of our colleagues are working on. So really interesting stuff. So this event that we are having on the 25th of March, getting back to that, is a presentation about what cannabis producers can do with their biomass waste. So biomass waste, until last March, Health Canada was actually requiring producers to get rid of it in plastic bags off to landfill. Wow. And now that's opened up. Producers can now, they can process their stalks and their roots without having any kind of special licensing.
Okay.
But it takes the know-how and the machinery to be able to do that. So our group can come in and teach you how to do that, recuperate those stalks and transform them into building materials, into agricultural materials. We can use this biomass for mulch in your garden. And it actually, unlike some other mulches, it stays in place. So it doesn't get blown away by the wind or washed away by water. It actually stays there. And then it helps improve the health of your soil. It's really good for all those beneficial microbes and earthworms. They love it. And, it provides insulation as well for your crops. So during those colder months, to protect the roots, and also to help insulate them when it gets really, really hot. So there's so many applications. And the idea is that we are going to build some regional biorefineries where we can refine these stalks into these different products and then be able to sell them locally. So producers will not only be able to save, some producers are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on waste disposal of a viable product that could be used. So if we can create some, localized or regional biorefineries, then we can save the producers some money on disposal, and then we can then sell those products at a reasonable price to the construction industries, to the farming industries. It makes great animal bedding as well. So many different applications, and we're really excited to be able to share that with the world. So anybody out there who is working with cannabis and wants to be able to utilize the whole plant, come and join us. It's a free session, and we'll talk about what that looks like. It's actually a very minimal investment. So most licensed producers that get involved will actually be able to pay off that initial investment within months.
Well, I imagine the investment would be less than what they're paying to
for disposal. Yes. Yes, for some of them, for sure. Maybe not for, the really smaller growers, but, the medium-sized ones, absolutely. But at any rate, it's a very modest investment to be able to then save money and, bring in another revenue stream.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you can join us. You can get onto EduCanNation's website at educanation.info and go into our events section, and you can RSVP. If you can't make it in person, it's on the 25th from 7 p.m. to probably about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you can't make it, we will make sure that you get the recording afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have any issues, just email us at educanationinc@gmail.com.
And then there's another really, really, really exciting event coming up.
Yeah.
420.
Christmas. Oh, 420. Cannabis Christmas, I call it.
Christmas.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for this event. So CCCA, Canadian Cannabis Tourism Alliance, has been putting on this event, and it's just getting bigger and bigger every year. And this year it's supported by the Ontario Cannabis Store, the OCS. So that's really exciting as well. And of course, we are EduCanNation, and we are the harm reduction partner for this event. So we are going to be there, and we are going to have a kind of green out activation space, and we are joined by our friends at the Dope Creative as well in this space. And we're going to have, it's going to be a very chill, interactive, artsy. We're still vibing it out, but it's going to be super chill. And, come on by and see us. There's going to be lots to do. And we're also going to be there supporting anybody. We're like, I've said we're going to be the St. John's ambulance of this event, where if you go to some, music festival, there's always St. John's ambulance in case, people drink too much or somebody gets hurt or injured or anything like that. We're going to be your people, EduCanNation. We're going to be there in our harm reduction space. And if anybody maybe is potentially, overconsumed, or maybe somebody is just in a space, in a zone, and they just don't want to be in the crowd and they want to chill for a little bit, they can come and join us there. So, we're just, helping out with the vibe, everybody's vibe. And we're going to be, of course, educating and sharing what we know about, how to support yourself in these types of situations. So, we're really excited.
This is really the first event of its kind that is having consumption on site that we're allowed, right? We're not going to be forced outside to hide and feel shameful for consuming cannabis. We're going to be able to consume it together in the way that we normally do. And this is okay with the venue, and this is okay with everybody who is supporting this event. So there is the opportunity for people to overconsume. So we're going to make sure that we have all the tools at hand that we need to help you manage overconsumption, including distractions, and a safe space to lie down. We're going to have a hotel room because it's being held at the Old Stone Inn. So we're going to have a hotel room available for anybody who really does overdo it and needs to lie down. And we're going to have some CBD on site, which is coming from our sponsor, Whole Hemp. You got your shirt on there, JJ. So Whole Hemp and Abide have been generous enough to support EduCanNation to get us there, because as you know, we are a nonprofit and we just don't have very much money. So
Yeah.
Dave Marcus at Whole Hemp and Abide is supporting us to get us there. They're covering the costs of our travel, of our hotel, and the print materials. They're supplying us with some CBD to help bring you down from a THC high. So we're really appreciative of that, and we can't wait. Come out and join us. You can find tickets on Eventbrite. We are really looking forward to this event. It's a 2-day event, starting with the festival on the 19th, which is the Sunday. And that's where it's just going to be fun times. And we've got the day coming, music and all sorts of stuff going on. And then we will follow that up the next day with the summit the next morning, where we're going to have some educational talks and sort of get to a little more down to business on 20th. So really, really looking forward to that. Kelly is doing a fabulous job. Is doing a fabulous job of organizing, and we are happy to support.
Yes, and there's lots of ways to attend the event as well. You can, just come for the day. You can come and spend the night, get a room, so you're there for both days. Lots of different ways to get yourself involved. So when you go to Eventbrite, those options will be available to you, and the description is there so you can see everything that we'll be up to. We really hope to see you there. Let's make this like the 420 event of the season, the one that everybody is going to want to come to. It's just going to get bigger and bigger every year. And when you see all of the supporters and, everybody that is already behind this event, you know that it is going to be a success. So really, really excited. Look at this. Grow Up, Dope Creative, 420 Expo, all of the brand sponsors and all the people that are coming through. It's going to be a fantastic event. And plus DJ, live band, so much going on. So honestly.
And another exciting thing, speaking about hope, you said we hope to see you there, right? But there's another exciting thing that you are doing at this event. So JJ, tell us about High Hopes for Healing, the book that you just wrote and is now out and available for purchase. And you are going to be doing your launch at the 420 event, which I think is so cool. So tell us about your book.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited that this book has just been published. It was published on March 8th. It officially went for sale on Amazon, and it is available on Amazon, on balboapress.com for my American friends, and a lot of other online retailers. So you can just search it up and you can find it. I worked on this book for 3 years and overcame a lot of obstacles to get it complete. It started out as a course, and then it became a book, and it was rewritten on 2 separate occasions. And then I suffered with, a cancer recurrence and some brain tumors and a seizure and a broken back and, a little thing or two that tried to, keep me away. But the mission was always very, very important to me, and just being able to give somebody the book that I wish somebody would have handed to me when I was diagnosed with cancer in 2019. And it's just a really approachable, digestible, it's covering all the basics for anybody who's been newly diagnosed, or anybody who may potentially be diagnosed, or anybody who just wants to know about how they can utilize cannabis for cancer. Because when I was first trying to learn, it was very overwhelming, between everything online. There's a lot of mis and disinformation. There's a lot of people with good intentions that are giving you wrong information unintentionally. It's the Wild West out there. And when you're already overwhelmed with a cancer diagnosis, trying to have to become a researcher and a statistician and an alchemist overnight is, really difficult. So this book is just something to, have a stepping stone into cannabis. And it's also a very spiritual approach as well. There's the hope is the very, the connection that we have with this plant, and, coming home a little bit to that connection and what that supports, and, this amazing system within our body this endocannabinoid system that supports our healing. This is our body's innate ability to heal itself. And when we can support it, it reminds us that we can heal ourselves. And so, part of my mission is to remind people of that as well, that we have a lot more power than we think, because a lot of times when you are in fear and, like people who are fearful make bad decisions, like straight up. You're scared, you're going to just do whatever somebody is going to say and there's a lot of options out there. That's all I'm saying. So this is one way to know how cannabis can be an option for you. So I hope you pick it up. I hope it helps. And if it does, please reach out to me. I want to hear from you.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's getting good traction. I've seen lots of posts on Facebook of people taking their selfies with your book and saying how much they're enjoying it. I haven't had the opportunity to dive in yet, but I can't wait because I'm busy behind the scenes doing all this work.
We've been busy.
Trying to sit down and read, but
I know that's been like such a mind-boggling thing for me, is that currently I'm the only person who has read this book. So many people have bought it, and now I'm like, okay, I need somebody to read it because I really want to just know somebody else's opinion of it. I know what I think of it.
That I've seen has been people have been, diving in, and whatever they have read so far, they've been enjoying and appreciating it. So
yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm grateful. It's just like, I'm the only one who's read it. I want other people to read it.
It's from the heart, and I think that from the excerpts that I have read, scrolled through a little bit, I think that comes through, and that people will connect with that and appreciate the knowledge that you're sharing and the experience that you're sharing. So we're looking forward to having that at our table at the 420 event. I can't wait to copy in hand.
Yeah.
So and you'll be able to grab a copy too if you come out and see us.
Yep. So make sure you have $25 cash, and that's how much the book is.
And you've been doing other educating lately. We have established a relationship with Kemosabe, who is a sovereign producer and has a wellness center, the Eminent Wellness Center. And you have started giving education sessions there that are free to access. They're also available in person and online, right? And you are just bringing some general cannabis education out there. I attended the last session. You covered everything from cannabis to the endocannabinoid system to all the other pieces about the plant that I was talking about earlier that we can do and build things with. And you covered some of the nuances of the language. You did a great introductory session for everyone. And what's coming up in the next session? And when is that? And where is it?
Yeah, great question. So April 13th is the next one, and it is at the Eminent Wellness Center in Ohsweken. It's at 2121 4th Line. And then if you go to kemosabe.ca/updates, you can register for the online or for the in-person. It's always good to just register so we know that you're coming. And like I said, you can register for the online as well, which is on Teams. And the first session was, just an introduction, kind of covering everything, building some relationship back with the plant. And then the next one is going to be a deep dive into cannabis, into the science of the plant. So we're going to be talking all about the cannabis plant. And then we're going to be going into the history. Then, of course, we got to cover our biology and that endocannabinoid system. And then we're just going to be talking about, ways to utilize methods of intake, harm reduction strategies, all of that for the last 2 months. So it's running from March till August. So April 13th is the next one. And then you can find the rest of the dates and everything on Kemosabe. Go check out kemosabe.ca. And we're really grateful to them and thankful for this partnership with them. And the community has been very receptive and open and welcoming to, this information. So it's really, really just inspiring to see, that cannabis education, it's needed, and people, are open and receptive to it. And, this is what we've been hoping for and, working towards at EduCanNation is.
Well, and I think it's really important that that you're being welcomed and, that it's well received, because in the last few podcasts, we've talked about some of the difficulties in the Indigenous communities and how there's, still some conflict that exists there, that some people don't believe that the cannabis plant has any space in their community. They don't want to have anything to do with it. So it's wonderful to see, attending the last event, I was able to see some eyes open around the table. And, you could physically see some people opening up and recognizing maybe it isn't so bad after all. Learn about it. Can help break that stigma. Now, are there the recordings? Are they available as well afterwards?
I believe so. You'll have to reach out to Kimosabe, because they are the ones who are doing the recording, because it is being professionally recorded. And then I know that he'll be utilizing those sessions at the Eminent Wellness Center to play them again, and then potentially on the Kimosabe website. So yeah, I would just reach out to them. I imagine that they will be available after, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
Well, we'll make sure to have that information for our next podcast for sure.
Yeah.
And you are going to be speaking at a couple of events coming up. So it's all about the International Women's Cannabis Conference. Tell us about that.
Yeah. I actually just learned about this one last year, because I had a friend who was speaking, and, she was asking for support, come out and hear me talk. So I was like, yeah. And then, excuse me, love this crowd. We actually met the Dank Duchess at Can Expo in 23. So she's the organizer of the Women's Cannabis Conference, along with Queenie, I believe, who is another cannabis influencer who organizes this event. And people do pay to come to hear these speakers. You see this incredible lineup like Miyabi Shields and Queenie and Dank Duchess and all of these other amazing women on this lineup. They're doing an incredible job at really bringing attention to all of these voices and supporting women's voices. So I'm really happy, thrilled, proud, excited to be a part of this event. And it's going to be on March 29th. I will be speaking at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my talk. It'll be about 20 minutes. And yeah, I'm just really excited for the opportunity to share a little differently about my story. The topic is it's high hopes, how cannabis turned a death sentence into a new life. So kind of, sharing a little bit of my history, and then, where I've gone from there. So it'll be interesting. It'll be
great. I mean, people are always interested to hear our stories, right? And how we got to where we are right now, and why. Why did we choose cannabis education, right? It's not an easy landscape to work in or navigate. So that'll be a great, and it's sounds like it must be an all-day event with that many speakers joining.
All day, all online. I believe you get the recording after, because like I said, it is a paid event. So you have to go to Eventbrite. I have a direct link, and I also have a code JJ10 that gets you 10% off. So make sure to use that code too if you sign up and come to attend and hear all these incredible speakers. So yeah, it's a full day summit event. It's pretty affordable too, not overly expensive. So I think very much worth it.
Yeah, definitely, to connect with all those incredible women in the space.
Exactly.
And then there is a Canna Crawl event.
Yeah.
What's that happening?
We're not busy enough for 420. I thought, hey, yeah, let's also do another event on the 18th. But I was invited by Reena Rampersad, who's a part of organizing this event, which has been a long-standing event that's been going on for years and years, apparently. I was not familiar with it until, I did hear about it, I think last year I started seeing posters for it. So I guess I was just following the right people. And then I saw it this year, and I was considering attending because it is close to me. And then Reena reached out and was like, hey, people keep tagging me in your posts and telling me that I need to know you and that you need to be talking at this event. So I'm calling to invite you to this event. I was like, oh, that's so amazing. Thank you. And yes, I would love to.
And so are you going to be sharing your story again there? Are you speaking about something different?
No, I'm going to be speaking about something different. It's going to be on a panel, and it's going to be about education. So
awesome.
Yeah.
EduCanNation has to be there, and
exactly
better to represent us than us. And if I can make it, I'm going to try to make it as well, because I'll be
cool. Yeah, because you'll be coming down.
That's right. I'm going to be driving out on the 18th anyway to come to the CCTA event, because we're going to help with the setup and with the teardown as well. So if I can, I mean, it's a lot of hours of driving, but if I can make it, I will make it.
Awesome. Yeah. And then, after that event, we'll just head down to Niagara and then get settled in for our event there, and it'll be fun. So it'll be an action-packed week. Like I say, Cannabis Christmas.
Yeah.
Forward to it. Everybody's trying to make plans with me in April. I'm like, no, I cannot make plans with you. I'm so busy. And it's my son's birthday too on April 16th. So I always have to keep the weekend before for him. And the weekend after is always 420 stuff. So
420 Cannabis Christmas, where we're going to spend time with our cannabis families.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate. It's going to be so awesome.
So how about we take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with our awoke dose before we go.
Sounds good.
EduCanNation, a Canadian non-profit organization devoted to improving the quality of cannabis education and care across our nation and around the world. EduCanNation believes in continued education and support through the 3-tiered membership: cannabis education and outreach services, patient education and support through their holistic clinic model. EduCanNation, providing the highest standard of professional and responsible cannabis education. www.educanation.info.
Biggest areas for growth in the cannabis industry is actually cannabis hospitality. And did you know you could start your own business for under $5,000? Allow me to take you through my mentorship program to receive your cannabis hospitality stewardship certificate, where we're going to allow you to understand this plant in a way in which you can actually shepherd the plant to people. And not only a way to start a new career, but a way to actually enrich people's lives so they can use the benefits of cannabis to enhance their lifestyle. Please join me on this revolutionary journey.
All right, we are back, and it is time for our Awoke Dose segment, where we answer questions from our audience. And we have shared a little bit about our restructuring to some, and we were asked about the Association of Certified Cannabis Educators, because we did have 3 memberships. We had our community, our leadership, and our professional. We've kind of closed out the community and leadership paid membership and just opening it up to the greater community. So that's going to be free for everybody. But we do still have a paid membership, and that is our professional membership that is a part of our Association of Certified Cannabis Educators. So our people were asking about what exactly is the Association of Certified Cannabis Educators, and, how can they become a part of it? So.
Well, I mean, it all comes down to our mission, which is to provide the highest standard of responsible cannabis education, right? Mm-hmm. And so how do we do that? Well, we've created a standard of practice, and we have been supporting cannabis educators through our leadership membership. And we have been beta testing our professional membership for the last few years, I'll tell you, to really fine tune everything. And so our association is really that standard. So joining our professional membership, joining our association means that you are coming in to be a part of a community of certified cannabis educators that are all committed to practicing cannabis education at this high standard. So joining us looks like we haven't yet come up with the pricing for the membership, because we are working behind the scenes to lower it as much as possible, to keep it as affordable as possible. So there will be a membership fee involved, but when you join, there's going to be a course that you're going to go through to make sure that you really do have that knowledge that you need to have in order to be considered a certified cannabis educator by EduCanNation. And once you finish that course up, you're going to go through an evaluation process. So that process looks like working with a mentor. So one of us, probably myself or JJ or somebody else on our board of directors. And we're going to work with patients, one-on-one with patients, and go through our whole patient process with you. So working as a team to mentor you to be able to work to our high standard. Once you work through, so let's say you're joining me, you're working through a patient with me, where you're going to do the discovery call. We do free 15-minute discovery calls so that patients can learn more about our services and what it looks like to work with us and not be charged for that. And then if a patient decides to work with us, we go through our initial consultation and education session, which is usually about an hour. Sometimes definitely my sessions go more than an hour because I love to talk about cannabis and teach people. But those sessions are designed to equip patients with all of the knowledge that they need to know to make an informed decision. You know, like you were saying earlier, there's so much access to information out there, and it's not always the right information. And how do you make a decision? Like, is cannabis really right for me? Am I really ready to embark on a journey with this plant as a medicine? So we are going to equip you with all of that information that you need to know, from the plant to your endocannabinoid system, to drug interactions, to insurance coverage, costs of products. All of these things get covered in those initial consultations. So we want to make sure that our educators who are going to be delivering these initial consultations really have all the knowledge that they need to have to be able to pass it along to you. And then if a patient decides they want to continue, this is it, I'm going on a cannabis journey, well, we offer our 3-month follow-up care package. And that includes, the patient has to fill in a very lengthy intake form to really give us a full picture of their state of health. And we help them obtain a prescription for cannabis if they so choose to go that route. And from there, we create a cannabis plan for them. So that looks like making sure that they know which products are appropriate for their condition, that they know what dose to start off with, so that they're having a comfortable experience and that they're really utilizing the plant in a way that is going to benefit them and avoid any potential side effects that might be there. And then, you know, from there, we deliver that cannabis plan to them in another about hour-long session with the patient, and we make sure that they really understand it. Then we send it to them, all the documentation that has it all written out nicely for them. And from there, once they receive their products and they start utilizing the plant, we do weekly check-ins with our patients for a 3-month period to make sure that they're doing okay. Well, how do I know if I need to increase my dose? Or maybe this product isn't right for me, or I'm suffering from side effects, or maybe it's a drug interaction. Well, who do you ask those questions to? That's what we are here for as certified cannabis educators. So we want to make sure that our association members have all the skills that they need to have in order to be able to help guide patients through. So the evaluation process goes through one patient with the mentor who leads the session, and then the educator has to go through at least 2 patients with the mentor sitting in the background and just observing to make sure that they've really got the swing of it. They also have to create some cannabis education. So we have our free cannabis education modules that are available on IMD Health, which you can access through our website as well. So our educators get to create one of those modules on a new topic, and we review that. We make sure that it's good quality education, that it meets our standards, that it's referenced well, all of those things, that the science is correct. And of course, the educator gets credit for the work that they do. So, their name is published out there. And then they also have to deliver education. So like the talks that we were talking about earlier that JJ's offering at the Eminent Wellness Center, we're going to help our educators get out there and start delivering, whether online or in person or both, education sessions, through our Awoke program, which is our, we call this our Awoke dose. So it's our alternative wellness outreach education for communities. So our educators, through their evaluation process, will have to deliver a talk as well. So this is really just making sure that our members are practicing in that high standard, and when they're going out there and educating patients or educating communities, that we're going to be proud of the work that they're doing. And of course, as an association, we support each other, right? We're not like, we don't need to know every single little thing. I've often had, I've been doing this for almost 12 years now, and I have people ask me like, well, how do you know how to manage such and such a condition and such a condition, and all of these different conditions that people come to cannabis for? Well, that's experience. There was a time where I was on my own, and I didn't have other educators to reach out to say like, hey, I've never seen this condition before, but I'm pretty sure cannabis could be beneficial. How do I go about this? That's what our association is all about. That's what I always envisioned with this organization, and that is that we're coming together to support one another and hold each other accountable and lift each other up, right? We learn from one another as well. So
and we're not just we're not just sharing our knowledge too, we're also sharing our expenses in the professional association.
Yes,
which is
very good point. So that's why we haven't come up with our pricing yet, because we are, as a nonprofit, we found that we might have some eligibility to get some discounts on things. We're working on insurance as well, liability insurance, to see if we can find some reasonable packages. And so rather than, if you're running this type of a business on your own, you're looking at website costs, you're looking at payment processor costs, you're looking at, there's a million overhead costs. And we realize that some of our educators are spending $5,000 to $10,000 a year just on overhead costs to run a business that doesn't pay very well. Cannabis education is very profitable business to be in.
Volunteers.
We volunteer our time. We don't get paid for what we're doing. So, to be able to share some of those overhead costs and work together as a team will benefit the educators as well, to bring those prices down. We're going to be looking at membership fees, definitely under $1,000. So, not $5,000 to $10,000 like educators have been paying for in the past. So and this is the team that is going to be, and has been, of course, supporting the EduCanNation community. So when you come out to our monthly ECN circles to ask questions to certified cannabis educators, well, that's us. That's the association members who have gone through the evaluation process, who we know can answer your questions with confidence and provide support to you. So yes, we are looking forward for everyone to join us for free. Hop onto our website. It is going to be going live within the next day, so that you can join and hopefully join us on Friday or next month on Friday. I'm not sure when this podcast is being published, but you'll be able to find us, and it is going to be free access. We are looking forward to joining, and we will see you next time.
Yes, thank you. That was great. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time. At EduCanNation, we believe education is harm reduction. The more you know, the more you can enjoy the benefits of cannabis safely and effectively. To elevate your level of knowledge, join us next month as we chew the cud together on the many strategies available to transform your health and wellness with the support of our plant ally cannabis. In the meantime, visit educanation.info so you can follow us on social media, subscribe to our newsletter, or join our organization so you never miss a show, a series, or a soundbite. EduCanNation is a nonprofit dedicated to responsible cannabis education, working alongside a community of members, advisors, partners, and sponsors. Our mission is made possible by the collaboration of volunteers and the generosity of our listeners. If you've learned something from us, we invite you to consider supporting our work through a donation or sponsorship. Your contribution allows us to continue delivering unbiased, stigma-free, science-backed information, empowering you to make informed decisions that nurture the health of your endocannabinoid system. ECN Talks is brought to you by EduCanNation and the KGL Network. If you are interested in being a title sponsor of this show, please reach out to us at educanationinc@gmail.com.